Ladies and gentlemen, you know, when you have them, you want them to come on back. It's Eddie O from Eddie O Killed Me from in Florida way. Eddie, you got Wales on these top-notch physical shape, and you have them on the men. Man, you got the whale coming up and then said, I didn't think I could do it, but when I said Eddie O, I meant Eddie O.
Kevin, thank you very much. I
All right.
appreciate it. And thanks for having me again. You know, I know you're a trooper. You have to be a trooper to be well certified or to be certifying people. You know, so
That's
take
yeah.
out with, with your wrist and stuff like that. I really appreciate it. I'm looking forward. So let's get this going. You know,
All right.
let's start. Okay.
Okay.
Obviously, the World Cup is going on, and like I always said, I'm going to use this platform to talk about, what the parents, the student can be doing, athletic director, high school champions league. So I will stay away from the FIFA World Cup. There's enough content for everybody to. So, Kevin, the clock is officially ticking right now. Like I said, I'm going to be talking about a couple of things, preparing the engine, to get ready for high school champions league. The August paperwork panic, where they have to get their paperwork in, their medicals in. My third topic will be talk about coaches and the heat, respecting the heat, because we can tell globally the weather and the heat has been incredible. The fourth topic will be transitioning the field, ditching that summer diet that kids are going through. And then the final part of my topics today is to talk about the financial side of it, because things are expensive, and so is education becoming so expensive. So, like I said, we're exactly 1 month out from the season, and the honeymoon phase of summer is over, right? Right now, a lot of student athletes and parents are staring down a wall of anxiety. You know what I'm saying? From a physical conditioning test to maintaining science paperwork that's coming off so fast. So if you think this is for the student and student athletes, if they think that they can cruise through the rest of July and show up ready in August, they're in for a massive wake up. The reason I said that is preparation, gets us ready. And if they want to try out, they need to be in some form of shape, right? Summer is almost over. So today we're talking about preparing the engine. When I say the engine, it's for the student to be ready. We're breaking down why tryouts for soccer and not for fitness. However, in order to survive the administrative panic and how to uncover hidden money through stackable scholarship, a platform like Qooll, will help reduce that time and help them get ready for the season. So Qooll being one of the sponsors of the High School Champions League. So if they go to Qooll.com, which is QOOLLEGE.com, and use the discount code of QAFHSCL, they'll get $100 off as a partnership with High School Champions League. So, let's now drop the starting lineup for July 17th. Like I said, my 5 topics. The first one is preparing the engine. And tryouts should not be specific for fitness, but the student has to understand that if they're not physically in playing form, when they go to try out, coaches only have about 3 to 5 days to pick the varsity roster, right? So I recommend that they should at least start doing some aerobic exercise prior to tryouts rather than being out of shape, because when they go to the first day of tryout, coaches will be looking at their fitness rather than evaluating them on their technical skill or their football, IQ, their soccer IQ. And we don't want them to get to tryouts struggling, being winded. And that's the easiest way for coaches to cut players, right? And so we don't want the players to put themselves in that position to be caught in the first or second day of trial. What do you think, Kevin?
I'm all ears, baby, because I can't do the wrist. I can't. I'm all ears.
All right. So that being said, players, be ready. Get yourself physically ready for tryout. Don't wait till the day of trial to get your physical conditioning going. You've had time off for the summer. Second topic today would be the August 1st paperwork panic, right? Because if this is for parents and athletic directors, they should focus on eliminating that bottleneck, because nothing is as bad as a player ready for high school tryouts and be told that they cannot get on the field because they have yet to complete their medical, right? Because every single year, the athletic directors and parents, they go through this nightmare where everybody's scrambling to get their medical, forms done and handed in. And then you end up having 50 or more kids that cannot step on the field because their physical is outdated or their concussion baseline isn't logged in on the form, right? Or the parents forgot to sign it. The most interesting part about that is parents should not wait. It should not wait for them, because medical clinics, right, from experience, book solid in the next couple of months because everybody's trying to get it done within that week, right? So athletic directors are already swamped. They're setting up schedules. So don't make them start chasing you down, to get your child's paperwork in. The quicker we get it done, the better for the kids. So let's clear that administrative debt so that our kids don't miss out on the most important week of the season, high school season. And you know how competitive is the U.S. High School Champions League. So the players have to be prepared and ready. So I think it's important that they get those paperwork in on time.
Boom. You're on a roll.
Thank you. My third topic today is respecting the heat, right? Because a lot of times we got to understand that heat is critical, right? Dehydration. We don't want our players to get dehydration, right? So, high school coaches should be aware of it. They should focus more on safety, and certain things is out of their control. However, if they start telling the players, hydrate before you come to training, right? And also maybe they can schedule early morning training sessions or late evening where the main heat is not as bad. I'm sure, Kevin, you can recall in our days, right? Coaches will run you till you pass out or you throw up, right? There's no care for how hard it is. We just want to see who is fit. And some coaches take pride in knowing that, I ran, but you can't do it these days. Things have changed, and we don't think that's the right way. So I am sure all our coaches in high school Champions League are aware of it, but I just like to, make a point of it because our players' health is important. Because a player that hasn't hydrated properly, it's going to be that player, right, that will pull a hamstring in September when the high school season is going on. So we want to encourage them to hydrate, and parents always make sure that the kids hydrate, and so that they can be well prepared for their preseason and that grueling season that's coming up. It is very important. I spoke to friends in Portugal, in England. They're telling me the heat wave is incredible. I know here in Florida that the heat is ridiculous. You go outside for 5 minutes, you're pouring down in sweat. And so even when you're not out there participating or active, you still need to hydrate. So players, start hydrating now, start getting your conditioning in. Start with light conditioning and then progress to, the end of July, beginning of August, you'll be ready, for the growing season.
Proceed.
Proceed, yes, sir. The other thing, my fourth topic is how do we transition the fuel? The fuel is our diet, and this is particularly to parents and players. The focus should be on performance nutrition, right? Because we get so used to the summer barbecue, we go visit friends and family, we want to take and enjoy summer. The kids start getting into soda, chips, all the hamburgers and all that. It's okay because we know they can burn it. But now when we're trying to get into, the athletic side to get ready for high school Champions League, we gotta get rid of those junk food. We don't wait till, season begins to start transitioning the body. We need to train our body to be ready to start shifting that household nutrition, in the pantry. Let's start moving those junk food away and getting them some good carbohydrates, clean proteins and hydration. When we start it now, it's going to make it easier for them to start burning, right? Because you cannot put a cheap fuel in a Ferrari and expect to get the best performance out of it, right?
Right.
So we want our players to get dehydrated and before they go in because you can't fix it by just last minute let me chug in water because the water you're having during training it's not what's going to sustain you or stop you from being dehydrated. And obviously there are signs of dehydration when there's headache, lightheadedness, and you combine that with the heat, it's not a good thing. So we don't want that.
It's the last one.
Yeah, last one. No, I got one more. I gave you four so far. My last topic.
Yeah. This is the coming. The coming is the last one.
Yes. It's the fifth one is the financial preseason, right? Because we look at the cost of everything right now. I feel, a little bit bad for parents because for those that are paying for travel soccer, club soccer, high school Champions League at least help the financial burden. High school Champions League actually provides a platform for them that doesn't cost them anything. But at the same time, they still got a concern about going to college, right? And so I want to talk to them about, financial preparation of preseason, looking for stackable scholarship, and parents should, try to find a way to reduce the anxiety by finding hidden merit aid. There's a lot of scholarships out there, right? So if we want to talk about heavy financial weight hanging over these families, right? Because deep down, parents are quietly panicking about how to pay for higher education. And kids feel the pressure to perform in order to save their parents' money. I was talking to a kid 2 months ago who was saying, Coach, I have to try and get some money because I don't think I can get full scholarship. And I know my parents is tight right now. If I can't find supplementary funds, I don't think I'll be able to go to college. That really touched me, broke my heart because we thought about it and I said, hey, I actually helped him by onboarding him at Qooll, where he has access to over 35,000 scholarships that he can explore. And they could be, little drops of water can become an ocean. So the kid is able to at least start researching, exploring scholarships out there. And, at least he has hope. And this is where we don't want parents to start panicking, because everybody is chasing that elusive full ride athletic scholarship. Kevin, it's nothing like that anymore, especially in soccer. because coaches find a way to spread the money across as many students as they can, right? So there's nothing like a full ride anymore. And so we want them to understand that stacking scholarship is the way to strategize before the season begins, right? This means that they should find schools where they can combine the actual athletic package with academic merit money. Some leadership grants are out there, some institutional aid. This is exactly where platforms like Qooll, changes the game, because Qooll actually connects over 6,000 schools and unlocks over 35,000 scholarships within the platform available for students, right in there to navigate and apply for scholarships. Some are easy scholarship where they don't require a GPA. In there's scholarships there that you don't need to write an essay. There's some scholarship that's sports related, and maybe these kids are playing in some leagues in their local state or county. Some of those soccer leagues actually have scholarship for seniors. They should explore that, right? It's always good to strategize and not wait till that last minute. And where Ollie, which is the AI advisor within Qooll, is the 24/7 AI guardian counselor, and also Qooll has human counselors that can help the kids, right? So when you strategize where the academic dollars back up your athletic goals, that's a massive financial anxiety that completely evaporates for parents, right? And when a kid knows that their college future is secure, they can step onto the pitch and play completely free. That knowing that, hey, I have some scholarship money, I'm going to be graduating. This is my final year, right? They can now enjoy their final year of playing. So to wrap this all up, Kevin, I want to talk directly to the parents and students that are listening to us right now. It is important because 4 years of high school goes by in a blink of an eye, right? And before you know it, the senior night flowers are being handed out to students. The final whistle will eventually blow. The stadium lights will turn off, and your child will be packing and get ready to head to college. Like Maddie. Maddie, even this 3 years for her, right? Because she's accomplished a lot. Now she's packing to go to North Carolina. So that's an example of how quick the high school journey ends, right? And so don't let the constant anxiety of sports recruiting, right? Application deadlines, financial stress, kill the joy of the season, especially for the seniors, right?
Right.
We shouldn't be arguing at the kitchen table over unwritten essays, tuition costs. After a hard game, they just came back from a game. Parents are saying, well, we don't know how we're going to financially afford this. This is not a good thing for families to be carrying that burden. So tools like Qooll will help handle the heavy lifting and clear the guesswork so that the pressure is off. The parents and the kids can ride together and enjoy that high school journey. So my advice to the student athlete is players should work their tail off on the pitch and keep their grades sharp, right? If their grades are good, they're doing their best on the field, parents can now sit back, cheer as loud as they can, and cherish those moments because at the end of the day, the bond between and the memories that you build with that child or that player, those high school season, the Champions League season, those are memories that they can treasure for a long time, even more than trophy or roster spot. So Kevin, I want to advise everybody, let's make this preseason count. Let the kids get excited. They've been watching the World Cup. They've been getting antsy to get on the field. The work begins now, and parents get the paperwork in, help the athletic director so they don't start chasing you around. I think it's important, to highlight those points and make sure that the parents and the players know exactly, what they need to do. So the Starting 11 podcast is a great resource for them, from the technical side of the game, the academic, and all the guests that's come on the podcast have been incredible. I think this coming podcast season is going to be wonderful. A lot of great repeat guests coming to your podcast, and I always look forward to it. I know I had to rush through this because I understand, but Kevin, I appreciate you giving me the time to get on this podcast. And in concluding, students and parents should explore Qooledge.com, which is QOOLLEGE.com, and use the High School Champions League QR discount code, which is QAFHSCL. That's what I got, Kevin. That's my topic.
Man, fantastic. Fantastic. I'm going to wrap it up, put it in the can, and get it going. But this is benefit, man. You got entertainment and informative content. Thank you, Eddie O.
Thank you, Kevin. I hope you feel better, and I feel sorry for the recipient of your wrist.
All right. Cheerio.